Are you kidding me right now? Are you absolutely kidding me? WWE fans, what I'm about to tell you is going to make your blood boil, and I'm warning you right now, if you're not sitting down, you better find a chair because this is the most disgusting, cowardly, and downright pathetic response I have ever seen from a so-called WWE superstar in my entire life covering this business. Dominic Mysterio, and I use that legendary last name with complete disgust right now, has just proven beyond any shadow of a doubt that he is the biggest disappointment, the most spineless coward, and the most disrespectful piece of trash to ever step foot in a WWE ring. And if you think I'm being too harsh, just wait until you hear what this absolute waste of space said about Liv Morgan's pregnancy claims. I'm telling you right now, WrestlingNewsCC family, this is the kind of story that's going to have you screaming at your screen, and I guarantee you're going to want to share this video with every single wrestling fan you know because they need to see just how low Dominic Mysterio has sunk. This isn't just disappointing, this is career-ending levels of disgusting behavior. Let me paint you the picture of what happened, because if you missed this, you missed the single most infuriating moment in recent WWE history. Liv Morgan, in what can only be described as a desperate attempt to salvage her crumbling relationship with Dominic, made the shocking announcement that she was pregnant with his child. Now, whether you believe this claim or not, what happened next is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about human decency. This announcement sent shockwaves through the entire WWE universe. Social media exploded, wrestling forums went into overdrive, and fans were desperately waiting to see how Dominic would respond to this life-changing news. Would he step up? Would he show some maturity? Would he finally prove that he's worthy of carrying the Mysterio name? The answer is a resounding, disgusting, absolutely infuriating no. Not only did Dominic fail to step up, but his response was so vile, so completely lacking in any form of human decency, that it's going to make you sick to your stomach. I'm not exaggerating when I say that his reaction has single-handedly destroyed any remaining respect that WWE fans might have had for him. Here's what this absolute coward did when confronted with Liv Morgan's pregnancy claims. Instead of handling this situation like a man, instead of showing even a shred of responsibility or maturity, Dominic Mysterio looked directly into the camera during a backstage interview and said, and I quote, "That's not my problem anymore. Liv made her choice when she decided to get involved in my business, and now she can deal with the consequences alone." Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me right now? Did this pathetic excuse for a human being just abandon a woman who claims to be carrying his child? Did he really just wash his hands of all responsibility and walk away like the spineless coward he's always been? But wait, it gets worse. When the interviewer pressed him for more details, asking him to clarify his position, Dominic actually laughed. He laughed, and said, "Look, I never promised Liv anything permanent. She knew what this was from the beginning. If she thought she could trap me with some pregnancy story, she picked the wrong guy. I am livid right now." The absolute audacity, the complete lack of human decency, the sheer cowardice of this statement is beyond anything I've ever seen in professional wrestling. This isn't just about storylines or entertainment, this is about basic human character, and Dominic Mysterio has proven that he has none. And you know what makes this even more disgusting? This piece of trash is carrying the Mysterio name. Rey Mysterio, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, a man who has shown nothing but class, respect, and dignity throughout his entire career, has to watch his son completely destroy the family legacy with this pathetic display of cowardice. Rey Mysterio spent decades building a reputation as one of the most respected wrestlers in the business. He overcame size disadvantages, language barriers, and countless obstacles to become a legend. He showed respect to his opponents, loyalty to his family, and dignity in every aspect of his career. And now his son is throwing all of that away with this absolutely disgusting behavior. I can't even imagine how Rey must feel right now. The embarrassment, the shame, the complete disappointment of watching his own flesh and blood act like such a coward. This isn't just affecting Dominic, this is destroying the entire Mysterio family reputation, and that makes this situation even more infuriating. The wrestling community has always held the Mysterio name in the highest regard. Fans respected Rey not just for his in-ring ability, but for his character, his integrity, and his dedication to his family. Now, all of that respect is being flushed down the drain by his cowardly son who can't even take responsibility for his own actions. Now, let me tell you about Liv Morgan's response to this absolutely disgusting display of cowardice, because her reaction is going to make you even more angry at Dominic's pathetic behavior. When Liv was informed about Dominic's comments, she didn't just break down, she was absolutely devastated in a way that shows just how real this situation has become. In an emotional interview that had grown women crying and grown men wanting to punch walls, Liv Morgan said, "I never thought someone I cared about could be so cruel. I never thought the person I trusted with my heart could abandon me when I needed him most. This isn't about wrestling storylines or entertainment, this is about my life, my future, and a man who promised me he would always be there." The raw emotion in her voice, the genuine pain in her eyes, the absolute devastation of someone who has been completely betrayed, it was heartbreaking to watch. And it made Dominic's cowardly response even more disgusting than it already was. But here's what really made my blood boil. When asked if she had any message for Dominic, Liv looked directly into the camera and said, "I hope you can live with yourself. I hope you can sleep at night knowing that you abandoned someone who loved you. And I hope that when you look in the mirror, you see exactly what you've become, a coward who runs away when things get difficult." The strength it took for her to say those words, the dignity she showed even in the face of such betrayal, it made the contrast with Dominic's pathetic behavior even more stark. Here's a woman showing more courage and character in her darkest moment than Dominic has shown in his entire career. The reaction from the WWE Universe has been absolutely explosive, and I'm not just talking about normal wrestling fan reactions. This is genuine outrage, real anger, and complete disgust from fans who feel personally betrayed by Dominic's cowardly behavior. Social media is on fire with the hashtag Dominic disgrace trending worldwide, and the comments are absolutely brutal. One fan wrote, "I've been watching wrestling for 20 years, and I've never seen anything as disgusting as Dominic's response. This coward has no business carrying the Mysterio name." Another said, "Rey Mysterio must be absolutely ashamed of his son right now. This is the most pathetic display of cowardice I've ever witnessed." The anger isn't just coming from casual fans either. Wrestling veterans, industry insiders, and even other WWE superstars are expressing their disgust at Dominic's behavior. Former WWE champion CM Punk tweeted, "There's a difference between playing a character and being a decent human being. Dominic clearly doesn't understand that difference." Even wrestlers from other promotions are weighing in on this situation. AEW's Jon Moxley, who rarely comments on WWE storylines, posted a simple message that spoke volumes: "Some things are bigger than wrestling. Character matters." The wrestling community is united in their disgust at Dominic's cowardly response. But the outrage isn't just coming from fans and social media. According to Backstage sources, the reaction within WWE itself has been equally explosive. Multiple wrestlers have reportedly confronted Dominic about his comments, and the locker room atmosphere has become incredibly tense. One source, who spoke on condition of anonymity, revealed that several veteran wrestlers have completely lost respect for Dominic. "Nobody wants to work with him right now," the source said. What he said about Liv crossed a line that goes beyond storylines. People are genuinely disgusted by his behavior. Even more shocking, there are reports that Rey Mysterio himself had a heated confrontation with his son backstage after hearing about the comments. Witnesses described it as the angriest they've ever seen Rey, with the wrestling legend reportedly telling his son that he was ashamed to share the same last name. The situation has become so volatile that WWE management is reportedly considering how to handle the fallout. Some sources suggest that Dominic's comments have created such negative publicity that his position with the company might be in jeopardy. When your own behavior becomes more controversial than any storyline, that's a serious problem. This situation goes far beyond just one cowardly wrestler and his pathetic response to a serious situation. This is about the line between entertainment and reality, between playing a character and being a decent human being. Dominik Mysterio has completely obliterated that line with his disgusting behavior. Professional wrestling has always walked a fine line between scripted entertainment and real emotion. The best wrestlers are those who can blur that line, who can make you forget you're watching a performance and make you believe in the reality of what's happening. But there are certain things that should never be part of that performance, basic human decency being one of them. What Dominic has done is shown that he doesn't understand this fundamental aspect of the business. He's shown that he lacks the maturity, the character, and the basic human decency to be in this industry. Wrestling fans can forgive a lot of things, but they can't forgive someone who abandons all sense of responsibility and character. This situation is also highlighting the pressure that comes with being a second-generation wrestler. Rey Mysterio set an incredibly high bar for character and professionalism, and Dominic has completely failed to meet that standard. The wrestling world is watching to see if he can somehow redeem himself, but after these comments, that redemption seems impossible. The impact of this situation is being felt across all of WWE programming. Storylines are being affected, other wrestlers are being forced to choose sides, and the entire dynamic of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown has been altered by Dominic's cowardly behavior. Several wrestlers have already made their positions clear. Women's wrestlers, in particular, have been vocal in their support for Liv Morgan and their disgust at Dominic's response. Rhea Ripley posted on social media, "Real men take responsibility for their actions. Cowards run away and make excuses." The situation has also affected the broader Judgment Day storyline. How can fans take Dominic seriously as a member of this dominant faction when he's shown such cowardice in his personal life? How can he be portrayed as tough and intimidating when he runs away from responsibility like a scared child? Even more concerning for WWE, this situation is affecting the company's reputation. Wrestling fans are questioning whether WWE should continue to feature someone who has shown such a lack of character. The company prides itself on having wrestlers who can serve as role models, and Dominic's behavior is the complete opposite of that. What makes Dominic's response even more infuriating is the psychology behind it. This isn't just about one moment of poor judgment, this is about a pattern of cowardice and immaturity that has been building for months. Every time Dominic has faced a difficult situation, he's chosen the easy way out, and this is just the most extreme example. Think about his wrestling career. When he was given opportunities because of his father's name, did he work extra hard to prove himself worthy? No, he coasted on his family connections and showed minimal effort. When he was criticized for his in-ring performance, did he dedicate himself to improvement? No, he made excuses and blamed others for his failures. This pregnancy situation is just the latest in a long line of moments where Dominic has shown his true character, or lack thereof. He's proven that when the pressure is on, when real responsibility is required, he will always choose the coward's path. It's a disgusting pattern of behavior that shows he's completely unworthy of the opportunities he's been given. The most infuriating part is that he seems to take pride in this cowardice. His smug attitude, his dismissive comments, his complete lack of remorse, it all shows that he doesn't even recognize how pathetic his behavior is. He actually thinks he's being clever by abandoning his responsibilities. While we're all focused on Dominic's disgusting behavior, we can't forget about the impact this is having on Liv Morgan's career and personal life. This woman has been put in an impossible position by someone who was supposed to care about her, and now she's dealing with the fallout while trying to maintain her professional obligations. Liv Morgan has always been one of the most dedicated and professional wrestlers in WWE. She's worked incredibly hard to build her career, overcome obstacles, and earn the respect of fans and peers alike. Now, through no fault of her own, she's dealing with a situation that threatens to overshadow all of her professional achievements. The strength she's shown in handling this situation has been remarkable. Instead of letting Dominic's cowardice destroy her, she's used it as motivation to prove that she's stronger than any man who would abandon her. Her performances in the ring have been even more intense, even more passionate, as if she's channeling her pain into her work. But the emotional toll is obvious. You can see it in her eyes, hear it in her voice, and feel it in her presence. This isn't just about wrestling storylines, this is about a woman dealing with real betrayal, real abandonment, and real heartbreak. And the fact that she's handling it with such grace makes Dominic's cowardice even more disgusting. The impact on the Mysterio family has been devastating to watch. Rey Mysterio, who has always been incredibly proud of his family heritage and his son's potential, is now dealing with the complete destruction of that legacy. The disappointment in his eyes during recent appearances has been heartbreaking to witness. Sources close to the family reveal that Rey has been struggling with how to handle his son's behavior. On one hand, Dominic is his child, and the natural instinct is to protect and support him. On the other hand, Rey's own reputation and legacy are being damaged by his son's cowardly actions. The wrestling legend has reportedly been reaching out to other veteran wrestlers for advice on how to handle this situation. How do you discipline a grown man who refuses to take responsibility for his actions? How do you save your family's reputation when your own son is destroying it with every public appearance? The strain on the family has been visible during their recent WWE appearances together. The chemistry that once made them such a compelling father-son team has been completely destroyed by Dominic's behavior. Rey can barely look at his son without disappointment showing on his face. This situation is forcing the entire wrestling industry to confront some uncomfortable truths about the culture within sports entertainment. For too long, wrestlers have been able to hide behind the "it's just a character" excuse when their real-life behavior becomes questionable. Dominic's situation is proving that fans won't accept that excuse anymore. The wrestling community is demanding higher standards from their entertainers. They want wrestlers who can serve as positive role models, who show character and integrity both in and out of the ring. Dominic's behavior is the complete opposite of what fans expect from their wrestling heroes. This is also highlighting the responsibility that comes with being in the public eye. When you're a WWE superstar, you're not just an entertainer, you're a representative of the company, the industry, and the wrestling community as a whole. Dominic's cowardly behavior is damaging all of those things. The situation is forcing WWE to reevaluate how they handle personal conduct issues. Can they continue to feature a wrestler who has shown such a lack of character? How do they balance entertainment value with the need to maintain certain standards of behavior? These are questions that the company will need to answer soon. What makes this situation even more infuriating is that Dominic seems to have reached a point of no return. His comments were so extreme, so completely lacking in any form of human decency, that it's hard to imagine how he could ever redeem himself. He's crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. Even if he were to apologize tomorrow, even if he were to completely change his behavior, the damage has been done. The wrestling world has seen his true character, and it's impossible to unsee something so disgusting. He's proven that when faced with real responsibility, he will always choose the coward's path. The most pathetic part is that he seems completely oblivious to how his behavior is being perceived. He actually seems to think he's being clever or tough by abandoning his responsibilities. The complete lack of self-awareness is almost as infuriating as the cowardice itself. Wrestling fans have long memories, and this situation will follow Dominic for the rest of his career. Every time he steps into that ring, fans will remember how he abandoned Liv Morgan when she needed him most. Every time he tries to portray himself as tough or honorable, people will remember his cowardly response to this situation. So there you have it, WrestlingNewsCC family, the most disgusting, cowardly, and pathetic response in recent WWE history. Dominic Mysterio has proven beyond any doubt that he is completely unworthy of the opportunities he's been given, completely undeserving of the Mysterio name, and completely lacking in any form of human decency. This isn't just about wrestling storylines or entertainment, this is about basic human character, and Dominic has shown that he has none. His response to Liv Morgan's pregnancy claims has been so vile, so completely lacking in any form of responsibility or maturity, that it's destroyed any remaining respect that wrestling fans might have had for him. The impact of this situation will be felt for years to come. Dominic has damaged his own career, destroyed his family's reputation, and proven that he lacks the character to be in this industry. The wrestling world is watching to see if he can somehow redeem himself, but after these comments, that redemption seems impossible. If you're as disgusted by Dominic's behavior as I am, make sure to share this video with every wrestling fan you know. They need to see just how low this coward has sunk, and they need to understand that the wrestling community won't tolerate this kind of behavior from our entertainers.
Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear how angry this situation has made you, and I want to know what you think should happen to Dominik Mysterio's career after this disgusting display of cowardice. And don't forget to subscribe to Wrestling News CC for more exclusive coverage of the stories that matter to wrestling fans. This is Wrestling News CC, and I'm telling you right now, Dominik Mysterio has proven that he's the biggest disappointment in wrestling history, and it's time for the entire wrestling world to hold him accountable for his pathetic behavior. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.